All right, and we're back for Friday night block party. Lots of fun in store tonight. Actually, I'm lying. You should probably just hit close right now and go back to your regularly scheduled programming.
You can watch me eat.
You can't take him anywhere. I'm not even joking. I was like, he was like, hey, send me the link. I'm like, okay, cool. Because I talked to Dan earlier. I was like, hey, you want to come hang out on the show tonight? And he's like, sure. And then he shows up with food. You didn't bring me any food.
We have this problem called distance.
There's that. What is that you're eating again?
This is a biryani, Indian food. I'll show you the chicken. It's bright red.
Does it have the jasmine rice with it?
Huh?
So it have the jasmine rice with it?
Yeah. It's not jasmine. It's pilau rice.
That's some good stuff, though. So we've got a couple people here already. Richard Arwala. Howdy. Welcome. Glad to have you all aboard. So not a whole lot on the agenda tonight. Of course, today is iPhone pre-order day for some people. I mean, if you wanted the iPhone 12 or you wanted the iPhone 12 Pro, then you were good to go. If you wanted the iPhone 12 mini or the 12 Pro Max, then you got to wait till like November the 7th or something like that.
How does that even work? They have the two middle ones, but not the lower one and the highest one. It's like,
I don't really understand it. I don't know. We'll get to that in a minute. Sam, welcome. Sandra, glad to have you here. Tried the biryani before. Says it's good.
It's good.
Try to pronounce my last name. I dare you.
Bachi.
No. What's the origin? Tell me the origin first, and then I'll mess it up.
Italian.
Maybe. There's so many different ways you could go with that.
I always thought double C was ch.
Yeah. Batchy? Yeah, we'll go with Batchy. That's all I can come with right now. I mean, it's not Baki or it's not Bisay.
And you told me no.
Huh?
I said that first, and you said, no, it's not that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, well, I didn't intend to. I had no good guess at that point. Yeah, right. I was hoping to get the origin to give it a good guess. Ed, howdy. Thanks for showing up again, as always. Ed is a faithful guy that likes to come hang out with us on Wednesday night. And he shows up on Friday night, too.
It's like the soccer team over there called Lecce, something like that. Lecce.
Boucher.
Yeah.
I'm from Texas, and he's an English guy in Central Ohio. Mm-hmm. The fact that we can even,
at least in Italian.
Yeah, the fact that we could kind of put it together a little bit. I mean, partial credit, I would suppose. How is the Duo treating you? Yeah, I have a lot of mixed feelings about the Duo. I really, really wanted it to be good. I do like it in many regards. I don't like the price tag, for one, but the last patch seems to have polished it up a little bit. It seems a little bit faster. Some of the quirks are worked out of it, but I feel like this one's kind of starting to do that bending thing too. And I was looking at it, and I don't have it in here with me right now. Actually, I do. Hold on. Let me go get it. 1 second. Dan, say something.
This is my new favorite phone. A $500-600 plastic back phone is my new favorite phone.
Oh yeah, the new the Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. So
how does that even work?
Here's the thing, and I figured out why these ones are having this slight bending issue, and it's because you see the hinge over here, where the screen starts off right here, is not flush with here. So as it gets farther and farther away, it's kind of like that. It's like a very, very shallow wedge, if you would. So whenever you keep pushing down on it all the time, whenever you're opening it and closing it, and the fact that it's made out of plastic, it causes this slight bowing, which, I mean, it doesn't seem to be noticeable or affect using the phone, but after maybe a couple of weeks, you do notice a little bit, and this one is doing the exact same thing as the last one. So I don't know. I'm having a hard time with it. One, because I'm going to be incredibly honest with you. I have so many phones to test. I haven't even been able to use it that much lately. It's like,
I forgot you even had that.
Yeah, I like this phone. I've had my SIM card in it. I've been trying to use it because I enjoy it. But it's like I got the Xiaomi Poco X3, like 2 weeks ago. I got the Pixel 4a, I got the Pixel 5, I've got the Fold, I've got the Z Flip, I've got all these stinking phones. So it's really hard for me to be able to use one of them for a long time. And I was just talking to Dan about this earlier. And this is not a problem that most people have to deal with, because most people have one phone. Maybe they might have two. They don't go through 23 phones a year. So I could very much be enjoying using a phone, but as a tech reviewer, I'm like, all right, well, now I've got these other two phones that I got to test. I got to take the SIM card out of the phone that I may actually be wanting to use in some instances, and then I just have to look at it sitting over on the shelf for a couple of weeks until I can get back to it while I test out another phone. That's kind of how the Duo is right now. I got the Duo right around the time I got the Fold, one or the other. And
do you wish you'd waited?
Huh?
Do you wish you'd waited?
For which one? For the Duo?
The Duo? Because I got a feeling that thing's gonna really come down in price Black Friday.
It probably will. They're going to have to drop the price on it for people to pick it up, especially with the issues that people have been experiencing. And the fact that, largely it still in some ways does feel like a beta product, but I do like it. I just don't think that there's enough tangible benefits for most people. And really, you have to look at this thing as not a phone.
Yeah, it really isn't a phone.
If you look at it as a phone, you're going to be very disappointed. What I really like to use it for, and hopefully my boss isn't watching this, but she doesn't like to talk to me very much in real life, so I doubt she's wasting her Friday night watching my stream, so I'm probably pretty safe here. If I wake up in the morning and I roll over and I don't feel like getting up and going to check my email, I will reach over for this on my nightstand, and I'll sit there for the first 15 minutes of my morning and go through my email on the exchange. But also, there's really no difference. But doing other things at the same time, or like today, I wanted to go lay on my heating pad because my neck was bothering me. I had a headache. So I had a Zoom meeting I had to do, but I didn't have to be on video, I just had to be participating in it. I went and laid down and I just held this and I watched on it, and I was doing my email and doing other stuff at the same time. There are ways that you can really leverage this to make it worth your while in some instances. But if you need to reach for a phone throughout the day, this probably isn't going to be it. This is one of those things that they really are going to have to do some refinement, not to make the product better for what they intended it to be, but to make it more acceptable for people to use out in the real world. It has to have a speaker on the outside of this thing. I'm sorry. It needs to be able to have a way that you can answer a phone call without using the Surface Buds like this. It needs to have a little LCD readout, even if it were just something as small as what's on the Z Flip, just so you can see who's calling, hit the button so you can answer the phone.
What's up, Jason? I'll answer you when Mr. Longwinded's finished.
Yeah, you need to have something like that. It needs to have a camera on the outside, doing all of this number all the time.
Carry on.
Okay, I'm almost done.
Okay.
There are things it needs to have to make this more viable for people to carry it as a primary device on a day-to-day basis. But if you look at it as an extra device to carry around that's not quite a laptop, but that's not quite a phone, it works. But there's not really a big need for that in the real world. Now, go ahead.
Haas, if I didn't get this, then I would have probably still had the Fold. Something happened today when I was at the Sprint store. Everybody was loving all over the Fold, and the Google rep was loving all over the Pixel 5 because she only had the black one, and she just couldn't get it into her head that I had a Pixel 5 already.
I love it.
They were all looking at the phone and everything, and then this one guy said, because I had this there at the same time, was like, well, what's the difference between that and the Fold other than it folds? And then he says, how often do you use it unfolded? I use my Fold 90% of the time on that little front screen.
Did I not tell you that when I had my Fold and the original one, and I said, I love it, but I never open it? Yep. I always use the front screen because it's most of the time I'm using the phone throughout the day. I'm not just sitting there on my phone the whole time. I pick it up, I send a tweet, I pick it up, I answer a phone call, a message, I put it back down. It's very inconvenient to be doing this all the time.
It's too big for an everyday phone that way. Now, could I see myself getting the next generation Z Flip? Yes, because I will not let this guy talk me out of it and then get one himself later.
I tell you what, I have a hard time with that. And Luca, yeah, he's wanting to buy my stuff.
I'm eating a biryani.
I absolutely love the Z Flip. The Z Flip, I'm going to say this right now. The Z Flip and the Pixel 5 are probably my two favorite phones of this year. Totally love them. Now, the Z Flip should have never come out. The Z Flip 5G should have been what the Z Flip was. It was really, I think, short-sighted and a money grab on their part. This should have come out first. Had it come out first, I would say phone of the year for me. I mean, I absolutely love this phone. The Fold 2 is a really good phone. I mean, it's a little bit too far out.
And quality, it's a step above everybody. iPhone, the lot. It is. You hold a Fold 2 in your hand. You know you're holding a $2,000 device because it's just that well made. But
it is, and it is a huge refinement over the regular Fold. I like the original one. Haven't had a second thought about it since I got this one. But the original Fold, if you want to pick one up for $800 to $1,000, like on Amazon Renewed or whatever, totally worth it. I mean, it's still a really good device, and you'll really enjoy it. These right here, it'll be the same story next year. If you want one and you don't want to spend $2,000, wait till the next one comes out. You can get one on Amazon for $950.
I don't know where they're going to go with the next one on that. I don't understand, unless they make it thinner, maybe. If anything, what they need to do with that phone, if they can, is make it thinner, but make it wider. So it's got more of a... why they couldn't go wider by 1/4 of an inch? I mean, it's already a chunky monkey anyway, so...
They're going to have to. I think that's the very best way for them to go about it. Like, this was a nice step in the right direction, like stretching the screen all the way out, edge to edge. If it had like a 1/2 inch more on it, it would basically be a fully functional phone on the outside, which it is already, but it would be more comfortable for people who want a larger space. Yeah. And then you still get that true tablet feeling when you open it up. But I love this phone. Is it my favorite phone of the year? No. Is it an amazing phone? Yes. Everything about this phone, it is probably the best generational upgrade on a phone I've ever seen.
Massive. And I'm sure, like I've always said, I'm sure they did it on purpose that way with the first generation, because then they could come out and wow everybody with the second one. Because there's something to it with the first one. It came with the earbuds and whatever else. And, there was $150 of free earbuds with it for a start. The first one, this time, there's nothing. No case, no nothing. So,
yeah.
No. I might miss it tonight when I'm in bed, though, because that's when I unfold it most of the time. It's when I'm watching YouTube before I go to sleep. But then again, the screen on this thing is great.
You see what's got me lately, though, is I've been using my Tab S7 Plus at night so much lately that even I haven't been using my Fold that much at nighttime. I've been using my Pixel at night, and that kind of segues into what I was talking about earlier, where like the Pixel 5 makes me want to use it more than the Fold, because like we're talking about,
this is such a good phone, and people are bashing it because of specs. Because it's 765.
I just nicked the crap out of it.
It's great.
So I was grabbing it and it just hit the metal stand on my microphone and got a blemish on here now.
Oh boy.
Oh well, it's past the return period anyway. But I need a case. I ordered a case like 3 weeks ago. I've
got one coming. Should have been here today. Probably here tomorrow. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I just want a stinking case to show up. And that's my biggest complaint with this. $2,000 phone and no way to keep it secure.
You can also have, I've got that half of the Samsung case, the half leather case.
I actually wanted to try that one out, but
I got it for free, remember. So.
Trying to catch up on some of these comments. Jason, hey, going good tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Cool. Hopefully you're enjoying the Velvet. The Velvet is a very good phone. I enjoyed it a lot. I made a lot of videos about it. I think
I'd still use it now if I could use it on T-Mobile.
Yeah, that was my problem too. Since mine was locked to AT&T and I couldn't unlock it when my AT&T SIM died, I haven't had much use for it. So really good phone though. And for most people who are interested in the Duo, pick that up. Save yourself $700, $800.
Yeah.
My true daily drivers right now. So I have 3 active SIMs. Actually, I have 4 active SIMs. I'm not going to admit to that in public, but I have 4. Right now, my primary SIM is in my Fold. My secondary SIM, I just put it in the Pixel 5. So the Pixel 5 is my other daily driver right now. It was in the Xiaomi Poco X3 NFC the week prior to this, and my other SIM is in my Duo. And then today,
for you as well. When you finished, remind me to ask you the question about the Poco phone.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let me get through these. Is the size of the outer screen big enough? I mean, it's better. It's adequate. JT.
Tall. It's very tall. It's like what is it? Like a 22 by 9 or something like that. So
it's a really thin aspect.
Very tall.
You get used to it. It works. Yeah. It's good with swipe typing. If you don't have gigantic hands, you can still type, but it's a little. You get used to it, but it's a little on the narrow side still. Like that extra half an inch would go a long way with.
Tell you, after using that fold screen, because that was what I was using for my main phone for a while. After using that screen, and then we got the Pixel 5, I could not type on this for love nor money.
No, and I wanted to talk about that too. My thumbs actually feel like get fatigued whenever I'm typing because yeah, you're having to move. You're having to do so much mechanical movement with your thumbs when you're not using the front screen on the fold. I'm not used to it anymore.
Nope.
Also curious, Z Flip front screen. Do you waste any time daily use opening it, closing it all the time? Like the Z Flip, I haven't used mine in a couple weeks now because it's been sitting here. I actually don't mind the opening and closing it. Like if the fold didn't have, I mean, you could look at it two ways. You could look at it as functional, or you could look at it as a crutch because they know that you don't want to open the screen all the time. I don't mind opening the screen on this all the time. It feels natural because I spent so many years using a regular flip phone. I don't really mind it. But when it comes to this is much more work to open, especially with no case on here because it's so slick. And I'm always like trying to get it. You got to kind of pry your thumbs in between the screen to open it.
Hit the power. I always hit the fingerprint sensor when I was opening mine. It's just
all the time.
Rest. Yeah, it's so annoying.
I had to adjust my grip, so I had to learn to start holding it down here and grab it up here.
It's so alien.
It needs like a notch or something, or it needs like a textured area to where you can grab it. I mean, there's still some things that they can do to it, but by and large, mine looked beautiful up until it's fine. It's just like a gunmetal ding.
Well, I mean, if you sell it now, it's worth $500 less than what you were thinking. So
this one ain't getting sold. Not in 2020 anyway. Maybe in 2021. I got a scratch on the back of mine too because while I was in Vegas with my wife, it fell out of my pocket and went underneath the stinking car seat, and it hit the metal underneath there. So I've got like this little mark on the back now, all because I should sue Samsung, losers. Calvin, waiting on the new BlackBerry. I am also waiting on the new BlackBerry. I've actually been using mine some for the last 2 days. I was having some fun with it tweeting yesterday because the software update came out for it. And it's only for particular models apparently, but it's only for the Key 2 and the Key 2 LE, and then even not all the unlocked variants as I find I'm talking to people. I was really surprised that they pushed out the security update because, of course, the licensing agreement ended August 31st, but I mean, they did say that they were going to support the devices for up to 2 years were required by law, whatever in the world that means. So it was surprising, but not shocking.
Look at Luca. I'll be there before you, bro. All right.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation already.
Yeah.
You're out of the equation.
He and I were talking yesterday. He's got an interest in some of my devices. Are you ordering the iPhone 12 mini next month? I am not. And I think I talked about this before. I was really interested in the mini until I found out it cost $699, and then it was like completely disinterested, not touching it.
Yep.
Why? Other than just see, one of the great things about the smaller form factor, especially like the SE, is that you save a tremendous amount of money. So I kind of thought that this one, being the same form factor as the SE, but basically no Touch ID, that it would be maybe $499, $549 at most. I did not see it being $699.
Can I just mention, I need to bring this up because I've not really brought it up much apart from the day of the event. Why haven't Apple put Touch ID on the iPhone?
I don't know. It's so revolutionary they're putting it in the iPad Air, so I don't know why they don't include it.
In a world where we're wearing masks all the time now, and people are moaning about it, and they're trying to speed up Face ID to get to the screen where you press the buttons,
Yeah, I was really excited when they announced the Touch ID for the iPad Air because I thought maybe that was
Oh, it was
foreshadowing.
a dead cert for the iPhones. It really did.
And I feel like it's more important now than ever. So I had really hoped that they were going to do that, and then they didn't. And I'm really not a big fan of Face ID. It works well, okay? We all know that. It works well. But at the end of the day,
Not anymore.
yeah, with this whole mask thing, if they didn't put Touch ID into the power button on the iPad Air, I would say, okay, I wouldn't even worry that much. But since they did,
You know,
why not put it over here? Maybe it was just a last minute thing they did. Maybe it's something they'll do with the iPhone 13.
I don't understand because still, I mean, it's not difficult. We've had fingerprint sensors on power buttons for 6 years.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, I'm not ordering the iPhone mini. I pre-ordered the iPhone 12 today. I didn't get the Pro because I'm getting the Pro Max. I'm going to get the Pro Max next month. So
That's what I'll end up doing because I want the camera stuff.
yeah, I really want to test it out. I mean,
I'm thinking about getting rid of this.
I don't remember what this is. What is this now?
That's my A6100 with a Sigma lens.
That's right. Yeah, you went to the 6100 from the Canon M50.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've been really happy with my A7 II. Now that I got it sorted out, I like it a lot. So I'm going to be good with that for a while. But I didn't. As soon as they announced that and said $699, I'm like, why would I pay $699 for this when I can get the larger one for $799? Makes no sense. And then I'm glad that it's only a $50 difference between the 64 gig and the 128.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to get the 128, you might as well just get the Pro because it's like only another 40, 50 bucks more.
Yeah.
And it comes with 128. So I don't really know what they're doing. It's definitely curious in some regards to what their strategy is here. But also leaving the iPhone 11 out there at $599, the iPhone
10R.
An iPhone 10R at $499, and then for $399 you can get the iPhone SE. So I'm like, okay, so you've got something at every price point. But I may have talked about this on Wednesday. I think that the reason they did this though is just because they couldn't get enough of them. I think maybe there's going to end up being a shortage supply, and they still have a bunch of them left over. So I bet you in a couple of months that they'll probably knock the iPhone 10R off of there and just have the 11.
Surely they've got to.
Because the iPhone 10R and the iPhone 11 are still fantastic deals.
The 11's good. No one should buy a 10R now.
Unless you just really want to save money, but that extra $100 just get the 11. But the 11 at $599 is a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the 865 is still basically on par with the A13.
Yeah.
So
was it a 13 in that? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. It's still the A13. So the A13 Bionic is one heck of a chip. I mean, it's the same thing that's in the 11 Pro. So to be able to get that and the two cameras, yeah, I think that's good. But what I do like that they did with the iPhone 12 and what convinced me to go ahead and get one is they bumped it up to 1080p.
Yeah, and it's an OLED display.
Yes, no more LCD. It's OLED.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that last year, though, didn't they, that they were going to go all OLED this go around?
It was a rumor. It wasn't actually confirmed or anything. It was just a rumor that they were going to go for it. And then a lot of people were saying, well, why would they do that? Because then a lot of people wouldn't buy the Pro because you're getting the same stuff on the... And I agree. You'll find probably... Well, the Pro doesn't sell anywhere near as much as anyway. A lot of people seem to think that the Pro's the top model, so it sells more, and it doesn't. The 11 last year stripped the Pro series totally.
And that's what we said at the beginning of the year, that the iPhone 11 was going to be the phone of the year.
Yep.
And when all the sales numbers hash out, I can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be the phone of the year.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I got in an argument with somebody a while back that's like, they were saying what they thought the phone of the year was, and somebody was like, oh, it's the Fold 2. I'm like, no, it's the iPhone 11. That phone is probably the widest adaptability, the most powerful at the best price with the best camera setup that you can get. It's to me, if you want an iPhone and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree. I it's either that or the iPhone SE at $399.
That's a really good phone too, and I don't think that's going to outsell the iPhone 11, of course, especially not since it came out in April.
But phone of the year.
Oh yeah, probably sold a lot of them because a lot of people have been holding on to their iPhone 6s and 7s and 8s. It's a really good time to pick one up at a really good price. And it's going to be good for another 4 or 5 years. So people are going to be happy.
Yeah, it's cheap. Now, Hass says spec-wise on the Mini is very comparable to the Pixel 5, if not better. It's actually better than the Pixel 5 spec-wise. It really is. But it's, for me now, they've totally gone in two different directions. Android's a totally different thing to iOS nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. They don't try and compete with each other. They just
do whatever. Yeah.
Two different things nowadays. And the only thing that's competing between them is the fanboys, really, who just want to, you know, I've got an iPhone, so my shit doesn't stink. I've got an Android, and your phone's got stuff from 5 years ago on it. And that's all it is. Two different phones, so I don't think there's much competition there. The person who's going to go and buy the iPhone Mini is the person who wanted an SE but doesn't like the look of the SE, so they're going to stump up for the Mini. Because there's no way I'd buy a 5.4-inch iPhone 12 for $700.
No, and that's the thing. I think there's very few people that actually want a 5.4-inch screen. But if you want a 5.4-inch screen, you may want it, but don't want to spend $700 for it.
So go and buy the. For me, the iPhone 11's a far better buy. Even though it's got the LCD screen, it's still a better buy than the Mini.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's why I don't get it. The iPhone 11, keeping it on there makes sense. The Pro and the Pro Max makes sense. Of course, they have to have the 12, but it should not.
You say the Pro and the Pro Max makes sense. I don't think the Pro makes sense this year, the 6.1 Pro.
I think it does. And if you take into context that they screwed up the 11. So you have to say they either screwed up if they screwed up the 12 or they screwed up the 12 Pro. One of them is not right.
Sorry.
Needs to go.
The 12 Pro for me, is the one. I don't understand how can it be classed the same level as the Pro Max when it's different? And it's not.
Yeah. Oh, that's another story. I was talking like lineup wise. It doesn't make sense because they raised the price of the 12 so much. And I talked about this before. Whenever they came out with the iPhone XR at $649, and everybody was like, wow, it blew everyone's minds. It's so cheap. And then they came out $699 with the iPhone 11. I said, look, they're going to do this separation, but then they're going to keep raising the price on you. And very well, that's what they've done. And now it's $800. So, but $829 if you buy it without getting it carrier finance, which I think is garbage.
$80 more than the actual 10R when that came out.
So
it's a lot of money.
So my thing is, you kind of have destroyed this whole idea of a more budget-oriented, like normal iPhone, and you've priced it just below the Pro. So it's like, why would you pay $859 for a 12 when you can spend a little bit more? And $889, I guess is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can spend a little bit more and get the Pro. So. But what you're talking about with the cameras and some of the changes in differentiation, yeah, it makes no sense. They should be equal.
Yes, I agree. If anything, the 6.1, they may as well have just called it the 12S because that's what it is. It's like an S upgrade over the regular 12. Luca, I understand that they have 6 gig RAM in the Pros, but iOS doesn't need 6 gig RAM, especially in an iPhone.
You'll notice the difference.
Maybe. iPhone? No. Look at Ed there. His son's still using a 6S. I know a couple of people who are using 6 and 7s, and they have no problems with them. They're not slow or anything like that. They had 2 gig, if I remember rightly.
There's just they didn't go to 3 gigabytes of RAM like the iPhone 8 had 2.
Was it the 10 that went to 3 gig?
Yep. The iPhone 8 had 2, and the 8 Plus had 3.
All right, yeah, there you go.
So it doesn't need it. It's not like Android. Android pushes a false narrative that you need so much RAM. But the thing is, like, look, you might need 8.
Yeah, Android's not as optimized. That's the problem.
You might need 6 or 8,
mm-hmm.
but you don't need 12 to 16. And that's what's just crazy to me. Like, okay, so if you want to get the Note 20 Ultra, you can get the 12 gigabyte of RAM with 128 gigabytes of storage for $12.99. But if you want 5, 12, and 16 gigs, we'll charge you an extra $200. But yeah, that storage is nice, but the memory is you're never going to touch 12.
Is there a reason why the RAM has to be? Is it like tied to the RAM's got to be higher to run the? Is it something tied in with the? I just don't understand why they do that. It doesn't seem to make sense. I don't get it.
What my understanding and my perspective is just a selling point to make people think that they're getting a better product. Mm-hmm. When the thing is RAM doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have 10 gigs or 50 gigs. If you can't use more than 5, you'll never touch it. It doesn't matter.
Android, I can understand. I really can understand Android having like 8 and 10. Because like I say, Android, the way Android is like the Windows world of cell phones. As in, it has to cover so many different variations of devices, so they can never optimize it the way Apple can. So I can understand that it is more of a hungry operating system. But
yeah, I mean, and there are applications, like I said, I think a flagship Android phone should have 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
8 is very fair.
It's with 8.
Yeah, and that's very fair. And yeah, it will drain more battery because, of course, it has to use more electricity to access and power the RAM. Yep. So yeah, there is that stuff, but I mean, most of it's incidental. Especially because RAM comes in pairs anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need 12 or 16 gigs.
No. Well, is this 16 in the Note 20 Ultra?
Yeah. If you get the Max version.
Yeah. Why?
So here's the thing here with Apple Apple's not saving the environment. All Apple has done is created an opportunity for all of these charging.
They've created a problem to sell you a fix.
Well, I had forgot about this because, they didn't put an 18-watt charger with the iPhone until last year with the Pro models.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving you a USB to Lightning charging cable. All of the old power bricks, they say there are billions of in circulation, are USB Type A that you can't use with this cable.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, if you use a 5-watt power brick with one of these batteries that's 4,000 milliamps now, it's going to take you 4.5 hours to charge.
Yep, absolutely. Now, Apple, they're notorious for doing this. Did it with the MacBook. Look at your MacBook now. You've got, 4 USB-C ports?
Mm-hmm.
They used to have micro SD, USB-A, a couple of Thunderbolts. You'd have 6, 7, 8 different ports on the side of a MacBook, and then they took them all away so they can sell you a dock.
Yep, they did. It saves them money, and then they make more money. They don't have to put all that stuff and integrate it, and then they charge you more money for the option that you need. But I think it's absolutely asinine that they create a Pro laptop that has 2 Thunderbolt ports on it, and one of them has to be used as a power port.
Absolutely.
So basically, it's like, here's your $1,800 laptop with 1 port. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
So
$100 extra that looks hideous hanging off the side of it.
Yeah, this whole thing, I don't buy it at all. They didn't offset the savings to us. No. So they're charging us the same amount or more money, but not giving us a charger, not giving us earbuds. But then they created a new charging system that you can pay for, which, of course, also doesn't come with a power brick. So now to use the mag lock, you have to buy another charger. And then
if you buy them direct from Apple.
Yeah, they're expensive. So if you want to use that, you got to buy the mag lock and you got to buy the power cable. Or if you just need to charge your phone, you got to buy a power cable anyway. Power plug. Mm-hmm. So one way or the other, you got to buy at least one power plug to use your phone now. And they're trying to market it. You're going to get people that take this phone home and will think that their old charger will work with it, because that's what Apple has led people to believe, because there's billions in circulation. And then they're going to have to go somewhere to go buy a power brick because they can't charge their brand new phone.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes me mad. I mean, they're trying to pawn this off as being like eco-friendly and being,
Well, they've always been that way. When I worked with them, they were that way. Even in meetings, and they talk about how Apple are saving the world and they're doing this and they're doing, and it really is like a cult when you work in the corporation. I don't know what the stores are like, but when you work for Apple Corp, They're a strange breed, let me tell you. Strange breed.
I just don't get it.
It's weird.
Like we all knew why that they were getting rid of the earbuds. They wanted you to buy AirPods.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why they got rid of the headphone jack. Why they got rid of the earbuds. They want you to buy their AirPods. But conveniently, the new headphones are coming out. There's going to be a new version of the AirPods coming out. They want you to just keep buying their stuff. So, I mean, if you can just plug in a pair of dollar store earphones, if yours break, then you have no incentive to go buy a $150 pair of earbuds.
That's it. I wonder why they didn't announce the new headphones at the iPhone.
I don't know.
Weird.
I know that John Prosser said that there was something that happened with them. I don't really follow the guy. I just see it whenever people retweet and they comment on things.
Yeah.
So it pops up in my feed. I really don't like leaks. I don't. I think that it's okay when you like traditional leaks where it's like, hey, rumors, or somebody would pop a picture up, or you might have a name, or a couple different things with regard to some of the changes that they made.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind that stuff. But now, 3 months before the phone comes out, we know what it looks like. We know exactly what's in it. We know what it's going to cost. We know what it's going to be named. We know everything. So I used to think of leaks kind of like a movie trailer. Like you see a movie trailer, and a good movie trailer gets you excited.
Yeah.
It's to get you excited about the product, about the movie. So, yeah, kind of selectively leaking, or a couple of things finding out before the phone comes out kind of makes you excited about the product to see, hey, what finally came to fruition and what you're getting. And now it's become a lifestyle for so many people, and I think that it totally ruins it.
Yeah, it does. It ruins the excitement of the show because it's just boring. You're just watching it for the sake of going through the motions now. I don't like leaks. I never have. I will give one company props, though, when it comes to leaks. And that was Google last year with their Pixel 4. When people started to leak that, and they were just like, you know what, I'm going to just take it away from you. Here's the Pixel 4.
I really liked that, too. I was like, man, this is great.
Yeah, that was awesome. And they took the power away from the leakers.
Before we get any farther, you told me you want me to remind you to tell me about something.
Poco.
Huh?
Your Poco phone.
Oh, yeah.
When you use your Poco phone, all right, it's got 120 hertz display. I don't know what kind of processors in it or anything.
730G, same as the Pixel 4a. Sorry, 732G.
Whenever I've used these cheaper Chinese phones, even if they've got the faster processors in them, like the Nubia Red Magic that I had, thing was fast. Do you just get the feeling, even though it's well built, when you're using it, does it feel like a cheap experience?
It doesn't feel like a cheap experience. The refresh rate is there.
Yeah, there's just something about it. I don't know.
What I don't like, the LCD is not the same quality as the LCD we expect here in the States. Like if you look at like the iPhone LCD, or you look at some of the Samsung LCDs, it feels a little whitewashed. Like it feels like a little, like the colors are not as rich and as saturated. The refresh rate is fine. What I really don't like about it is I just don't like MIUI. It's clunky, and there's a lot of pre-installed stuff on here.
It's just, I don't know what it is. It's like when I hold the phone, the screen, like we say, it's not the same type of LCD screen, but the screen as a touch feels cheap on a lot of them phones. I don't know. I just don't.
This one, I think, is priced well. I mean, my expectations are not high for a $300 phone when it comes to build quality. It does feel premium enough, though. It's weird to me. It has a metal body, but it has a plastic back.
Yeah, I know. A bit like the Samsung that I'm using now.
Yeah, if you want, I'll send it to you. You can test it out after I get done with it.
Yeah, maybe.
I want a box.
Big house.
Where in the world's my box?
Don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that they are cheap, because obviously they are cheap, but they punch well above the weight. It's just a thing about when I use them phones, like when I had the Poco, what was it? The top of the line one with the 865 in it.
Poco X2?
X2? Yeah, whatever it was. It was a really nice phone, but just, I don't know, there was something about using it that didn't feel right. It just felt like you knew it was a cheap phone.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that way with the original Poco phone. Like, See, the thing that you get with a lot of these Chinese phones that come out that are not mainstream US,
Yeah.
they get some horsepower. Like they get higher powered specs underneath the hood, but then the American experience is like it's all in the details. Like they focus more on screen, on cameras, or like certain areas that they try to artificially inflate things. Like, oh, it's got a 64 megapixel camera with pixel binning and all sorts of other stuff. But then you're like on a Snapdragon 450.
Yes, exactly.
So
I might enjoy it. Go on, carry on, finish off.
yes, like the priorities I think are different, but I think Xiaomi in particular is really trying to. I think in the next year or two, you're going to see them in the U.S. market.
They've got to. They really have to. This is a gaping hole for them to fill in right now. Big House, I've only used it for a day.
Hey, you talk. I'll be right back.
Yeah, all right. I've only used it for today, but and I've already made it look like a Pixel because I just don't like Samsung skin. So I have all the Pixel launcher on it and everything. But I do not understand why anybody would go out and spend more money on an S20 when they can go and get this. The cameras aren't as good, but you can sideload Gcam onto it, a version of Gcam, and it makes everything look great. The screen on it's great. The size of it's great. It's not heavy. I really, this is going to suck, me saying this, because these are my favorite devices. I think this is better than this. I really do. When you think of them the same price, this could be better than this. I mean, I've used this for a little while now, so we'll see with the FE after about a week, see how I feel about it. But yeah, first impressions are absolutely fantastic. I love the FE. I'm doing that a lot more FE models.
So Ed was saying he was just scrolling through Instagram and Anchor is already advertising charging bricks.
Yeah,
I got this
one out that looks like the 5 watt. Have you seen that? The Nebula, but it's got a fast charger for it.
It's called the Nano Charger, and I actually have one right here. It's It's like it's five. It says it's 3 times faster than the 5 watt power brick. It's got their IQ3 charging technology, but it's USB-C to what you would use USB-C to Lightning. Yeah. So they sent me this out. So I got to do this, test this stuff out. But they gave me this one as well, which does the 60 watt. Mm-hmm. And then the power on cables.
Yeah. Right now, Big House, I can go and get an FE. I've got $372 on a gift card, and I always wanted the red FE if I was going to get one, but I got a deal on this green one.
That red one's gorgeous.
Well, I don't. Should I go and buy the red one and then just sell the green one?
I don't know, because
I got such a good deal on the green one, and the green one isn't actually as hideous as you think. I mean, it looks.
I like the color.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but this new Nano Charger is supposed to 53% faster. I don't know if you can see that. 53% faster than the 5 watt. I think it's 20 watts, though. It's not 18.
Right.
So it's supposed to be really good. I like that it's super small.
That little small block. Yeah.
It's really incredible what they're doing with the stuff. So, I've got that coming, and I'm actually really excited about this because, of course, I mean, I ordered the iPhone 12, so I'll be able to use this when that comes out. It's kind of lost on the idea of using it on an iPhone XS that I've got my Apple Watch connected to because it charges so slow. It doesn't matter how much power you throw at it.
Exactly. I use the Insignia because I get them for next to nothing. But they're either $40 or $45 65 watt chargers.
And
I get them for $14. So I've got 3 or 4 of them. That's
crazy cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like what they did with this, though. It's kind of like this special kit that they sent out. You can't buy this. Like, you can't buy this. They call it like the sort of the charging survival kit. So like, with like the 60 watt dual output charger and then the Nano, but you have to buy them separately. Like, you can't buy it.
Yeah.
But their stuff is great though. Their chargers, their power line cables, all that good stuff. They make some good stuff.
Yeah. Unlike Harmless Carl. Harmless Carl can't even get his little avatar picture to work.
He's on Twitter. Nobody wants to see Carl anyway. He needs to change his name to Ugly Carl.
Get out, Carl. You will. What do I call you? Armless Carl. Because when I meet you, I'm going to rip them bastards off.
There you go.
Tell you.
Here's a good question up here. You may have answered this. OnePlus 8T, worth it?
Yes, I think so. You're going to say probably not, but I think it's enough of an upgrade over the 8 that this is more in line with a OnePlus phone because it's not overlay. Now phones are $1,100. This is $750. If they'd have made it $699 like the FE, they'd have blown it away.
Totally. And my thing with that is because they took wireless charging out of it again, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know what OnePlus does a lot of
charging's crap though. It's proprietary, or if you don't have their charger, it's slow. So
OnePlus does a lot of stuff that really pisses me off. I'm like, what are these idiots doing? I don't. It's very frustrating. I do like that it has the Snapdragon 865 because for whatever reason, the 865 Plus, it's like it's always running at full throttle. Like it just drains through the battery. The S20 Ultra, even though yes, it did have 500 extra milliamps, that 865 was much more power efficient.
That Note Ultra was ruined with that 865 Plus. So I think it's that and a combination of 5G. Those two things there just kill it.
Yeah,
it would kill it.
So I think from a hardware perspective, I think the 8 Plus is a good pickup. Like you said, if it came in at $699, it would have killed.
It'll be $699 soon. Have you noticed that it's only exclusive to T-Mobile as well?
Yes, and it's weird. It's really weird what T-Mobile is doing this year because they're not picking up the Pixel 5.
Nope.
But they're getting the Pixel 4a 5G, but they're got the exclusive OnePlus 8T.
Yes.
But I think the 8T is good. My only concerns are, hopefully, I haven't seen images yet. I hope that the camera is better than the 8 because the camera on the 8 I thought was garbage for the price.
It's the same. It's the same 2-year-old Sony IMX 586. Is it 585?
Yeah, so if you care about pictures, buy the Pixel 5. If you don't care about pictures, then I think the OnePlus 8T is a good phone.
It's the build quality, what you get there. That's what differentiates that from the FE Samsung FE and the Pixel is the build quality on the OnePlus 8T.
Well, you remember how I told you how much I loved the form factor and the screen on the OnePlus 8? I thought it was gorgeous. I thought it was sleek. It was fast. The haptic feedback was probably the best I've ever experienced. From a user experience perspective, I totally love the 8. Like, if I could get one for $450, I mean, I would even still consider it right now. It's just that good of a phone. Until you look at the battery life. Maybe I just got a bad one, but the battery life with that 120 hertz.
No, because Chaz said the same thing. Linesman, he had one and he said it was useless.
Yeah, dumpster fire.
Yeah,
just like the Pixel, sucker wouldn't. I mean, remember I was posting all those screenshots. It would be dead in 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So the battery, if I could have lived with the cameras if the battery life was better, but see, people on the OnePlus 8 Pro are like, "No, man, the battery's amazing." I'm like, I don't know what the difference is, but apparently, I mean, yeah, it is a little bit larger, but the 8 Pro seems to be where the money's at with this year's phone. So if they've kind of mitigated the power issues with the 8T and they kept the sleek form factor, it's probably really appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah, I like the color of it as well. I don't like the silver one; it's boring. But that greeny colored one,
I like it better. They kind of toned it back and made it a little more green neutral. Like the Nord is just bright.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a sweet tart.
I love the blue in that. That blue is like nice as well.
What do we think of the LG Wing? Well, I hope to be getting one at some point in time. I thought I would have. I was waiting and waiting, thinking that I'd probably get one in the near future. But then I saw a bunch of people started popping up and getting them. So I'm not sure when I'll be getting one now. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. If I'm lucky, then I'll get my hands on one. But I like it. I like it because I think LG really swung for the fence with this, and they're going against the grain.
Yep.
And I think it's going to work for them.
Yeah, it's going to make people look at it. Did you watch MKBHD's video on it tonight?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've been too busy with work today.
He released a video tonight, and he said he made a video and put it on TikTok about that. And that phone, just a little TikTok thing that he did, got 16 million views on TikTok. He said none of the others do anything like that. No other phone, no other phone he does gets that many views.
There were a lot of big name reviewers, and I think even NKBHD downplayed it whenever he said, like, why would you do this? And I think that the big tech guys' perception of this phone and where the rubber meets the road with the consumer are on completely different roads right now. I think people are going to flock to this phone.
It's different. That's what people want, something different. And, it just, I like it. I like it a lot. And I like the way LG have put their balls on the table with it. And obviously they're going in that direction. I want to see whatever this thing is next, because that thing that they did at the end of the announcement video, the teaser, that looked like a tablet, but it was a screen. Wow. Man, LG this could be a big winner for him. It's $1,000, but that's on Verizon. I'm pretty sure it'll be $899 everywhere else.
Here's the thing, too. You know as well as I do, within 3 months, that sucker's going to be $500.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
because it's LG.
Velvet's for right now. Let's see. I know at one point you could get a Velvet without the dual screen for about $350.
Yeah, and that's basically what it is. It's basically a Velvet with an extra screen on it. But the thing is, so many people are downplaying this Snapdragon 765 chipset. I mean, they're not necessarily coming out and saying it by name, but they're saying the Pixel is the Pixel. People are saying it should have a better processor. The Velvet should have a better processor.
It's not a flagship. Someone said to me on Twitter yesterday, and I had the time to just shut up. It's not a flagship unless you can play Fortnite at 60 frames a second.
Well, I guess none of the iPhones are flagships anymore.
It's like, really?
That makes not a standard. And people don't understand what flagship means anyway. Flagship just means the best.
Flagship is, regardless of what it's in it, this is Google's flagship phone for the year.
Yeah.
Nothing higher than it. This is it for 2020 into 2021. It might not have flagship specs, the norm, but it is still their flagship.
That's because people misassociate the word with what the product actually is. And it goes back to the Navy. The standard bearing best ship in the fleet was the flagship ship. And it was one that went out front or in the center of the formation. It had all the flags on it. That's why it's called the flagship, the best one. So the Pixel 5 is the Google flagship this year. But also, whenever it comes to that, the 765 is such a good chip. It's power efficient. It's got 5G. I can't see that.
I'll turn it down.
Was it like a $390 Velvet? I can't see that.
It's $340. T-Mobile.
I'm still curious. I have not watched that Juan Carlos Bagnall. I've not watched his video on the comparison between the MediaTek and the
5G, supposedly. I just don't understand that.
So faster?
Yeah.
I mean, antennas are all different. I mean, yeah, it's got a different modem in it, but I mean, maybe the MediaTek modem is like a couple months newer or something. Maybe MediaTek has really upped their game over the last couple of years.
I'm talking of modems and that. It's faster on 5G than the Fold was. I'm going to do a speed test now, but it's definitely more snappy than the Fold 2.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. You wouldn't. I don't know. But let's have a look. Let's see how quick this thing is now. It just feels fast. This on like normally at home I have to go on Wi-Fi because it's kind of crap.
Yeah, I'm so mad. I had a video ready for tomorrow, and I was cleaning up all my storage space last night to make room for another video I was working on, and I accidentally deleted the sucker. So now, yeah, and it was a good video too.
That's more than twice the speed of the Fold 2.
That's good.
Why?
Yeah, 5G is so annoying, and I get tired of like the 5G icon gives you a false expectation that it's going to be faster. Yeah. I was out in Vegas. I was in a lot of places where it was connected to 5G and nothing. It was so slow and not what it was.
That's how the Note has been with me. That was Sprint 5G. I believe they piggyback on T-Mobile. Well, I'll do it on this as well on the Pixel 5. This is on T-Mobile's 5G.
Yeah, I'm doing one right now.
So the 79 and 15 I got on the FE. This still hasn't even connected yet.
So I'm on 5G right now. No, never mind. I'm sorry. It's connected to stinking my network.
Yeah, mine was. Let me restart it.
Let me try this again. All right, now it's connected to T-Mobile. Let me try this again. Finding server 5G. Okay, cool.
Oh, this is the same.
So
it did not hit anywhere near. It got like 30, 35. The Pixel is also hitting 78, 79.
So I'm actually hitting 110. I might hit 112 on my Fold.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All here was atrocious on 5G.
So I hit 100. Yeah, it rounded to 113, and right now I'm holding steady at 32 megabits per second upload.
Wow. Now you see the Pixel upload is only 6 meg, but it's 15 on the FE.
So yeah, 113 up, 113 down, and 32 up on my Fold 2. And I'll try it on the Pixel. I tell you what, man, I love this Pixel.
I do as well. I really thought the 6-inch display was going to be a problem, but it actually isn't, and it's such a nice display as well.
You know why? You know why it's not a disappointment? Because we've spent the last 3 weeks using the tiny front display on the Fold, and that's what I was going to tell you. That's what I was saying earlier, that I've been so used to using, and I was disappointed too when they said that it was only going to be a 6-inch screen. I thought, really, it should be more than that. Yep. But having used the one on the Fold so much lately, I go to this, and it feels like such a really balanced phone.
Yep.
And I made a comment earlier that
I feel like I don't have to wear a case with this either.
Like the Pixel 5, I made a tweet earlier, and I think maybe some people misconstrued it. I said that the Pixel 5 really makes me raise a serious eyebrow at the $2,000 Fold 2. That is by no stretch of the imagination to imply that the Fold 2 is not worth $2,000. It was purely that this phone is so good, it makes me, it's really hits above its weight class in the experience that you get for much less money.
People who use the Fold need to sit back and think about how they use the Fold, and then think about how they'd use a Pixel 5, and then tell me, hey, this phone's worth nearly 3 of your pixels.
And for somebody who opens up the phone and uses it that way all the time, you probably see more benefit. But I told you this with the original.
Gary's like that. He opens it up a lot.
That's why I told you I never used it, because I realized I just used the front screen all the time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, if I'm just doing that all the time, why am I forcing myself to use such a narrow, small screen? But using this, I really love this phone, especially at the price point. I think that $699 is good. I think it's a $599 phone, but because it has Google's name on it.
Speaking to the Google rep, like I was saying to you before, that she was looking at the green one because they've only got given the black versions. And she was saying, how official this is, I do not know, but she was saying that because the phone is releasing so close to Black Friday,
it's going to drop. It always does.
No.
Oh, it's not going to?
No.
Wow.
It's going to stay at $699. They might throw in one of the small speakers with it, but the price of the phone will not drop.
They're going to have a hard time with that because very well that is going to be $499 for Black Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's already been $599 within a couple of weeks of it coming out. So even $550, I mean, it's.
Here's my 5G on the Snapdragon 765 and the Pixel 5. 96.8 down, 44.6 up. I actually got an extra 10 up and only 10, 12 less down. So
the opposite from me.
Perfectly capable.
Oh, yeah.
I love this phone a lot. And the thing is, phones like this really irk me when they come out because I enjoy using them so much. And I'm like, but now I'm really enjoying using this $500 or $600 phone more than I am like my $2,000 phone.
I keep going on about this, but as soon as I got this today and I started using it, that is what killed the Fold off. it just totally killed it off for me. I was like, and then when I went to get it activated, and he said that to me, I'm like, it's gone. My folder's now gone. It is in the mail, gone. I came home, I put it in the box, fastened it up, and drove straight to UPS with it. It's gone. I do not have a folder.
Yeah, I like this a lot, and I'm gonna make a video and do a comparison between the Pixel 5 and the Pixel 4a.
Mm-hmm.
Did you change something? I'm getting feedback now. It's gone now. I guess there was just a disruption.
No, I don't know. And the other reason she said that the prices won't change is because the 4A 5G isn't going to be coming out until almost Black Friday.
Yeah.
And they can't lower the price down from that to that because it'll eat into no one will want the 4A 5G.
What is the upside? Well, for one, the upside is you get the second camera. So you get the camera, which is nice, and it worked great with night mode. I mean, I took some amazing pictures with this phone. You get more power. You get more RAM. If you want to do things on it, like actually play games or do some more multitasking intensive things on it, it's just a more robust phone. It's made better, made out of aluminum.
Got wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. It's got a hell of a lot going for it, the Pixel. Over the 4A is great at what it is. It's absolutely, you wouldn't actually, I don't think.
They don't really compare. They're not in the same class.
No, but there also doesn't feel like there's a performance difference either.
That's one of the great things about these 7 series Snapdragon processors. I've been saying this for years, that as soon as we get to the 7s, you get so much of the day-to-day performance that you get out of a flagship processor, but they save so much battery and they're cheaper. Yep. So the 730G and the Pixel 4a, very capable. Like, you don't notice, like, if you use the Pixel 5 and the 4a side by side, the interface runs exactly the same. You just, once you get into more intensive applications or look at things like wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, build quality, extra camera, it's not so much the platform it's built on, it's all of the extra stuff that gets to go along with it. So yeah, the Pixel 4a is fantastic. I totally love it. $350 can't be beaten.
No, it can't be. It smokes the SE, I'm afraid to say. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you're looking for a phone and you're looking at the SE and the 3A, you would be stupid to go with an SE.
Yeah, it's great too because 128 gigabytes of storage. They didn't gimp it like Apple did or some of the other phones with 64 gigs. It's just amazing to me that the iPhone 12 has 64 gigs of storage starting off when you've got basically every phone from $200 and up has 128 baseline now.
Yeah, well, Apple's always been that way. Look how long they left. I mean, the iPad, do they still do it? Was that a 32 gig that you had, the new iPad?
Yep. The new 2020 iPad, 10.2 inch, 32 gigabytes of storage.
Yeah, I mean, really? It's 2020. Come on, guys. But they'll just do it for as long as they can get away with it. What did Big House? That's what I'm waiting on Black Friday to see the price drops. You ain't getting a Google phone price drop. I can guarantee. You might get the 4A might go down to $299, but you can get it for $299 right now from Best Buy if you activate your phone while you're there. So, and you can get the Pixel 5 for $649 if you activate the phone there. So that's probably about as good as you're going to get.
Yeah, I think so.
This is also a better phone than the Pixel 4 XL.
It is a much more complete phone, and the battery life is amazing. Like, I forgot to charge mine yesterday, and I posted that picture last night. I got an hour and 9 minutes of time, like hour and 9 minutes it was powered on, and I got like 7-something hours of screen on time, which is, for me, is ridiculous. Like, no phone, I have not had a phone this year that's lasted me that long.
I got 9 hours out of this sucker about 3 days ago.
I will say that
9 hours and 3 minutes. I'm like, how?
I think mine defaulted to default on dark mode for certain things.
Mine is as well.
Which I haven't minded because it's been like that out of the box, which is fine. But yeah, the screen on time on this phone, amazing. The standby battery life, amazing.
It's like, oh, excuse me. I had a rough couple of nights, but The standby battery on this Pixel is the first time I can say an iPhone. It's the first time I can say an Android has felt like an iPhone, where you can throw it down, walk
Pick it
away.
up 2 days later.
Yeah, it's still 100%. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, like my iPhone 10s that I have, I set it up so I could test out the Apple Watch Series 6, and I haven't charged that sucker in like 2.5 weeks, and it's just finally down to like 10% now. I mean, it's just, I went and grabbed it today, and it was like a couple percent left. It's just ridiculous what Apple does with their standby time. But this one, very good. And also, yeah, what Lucas says here, you also get the 90 hertz refresh rate on the screen, which didn't intentionally gloss over that, but it's nice. I really, really enjoy this phone. And that's the other thing that makes it really special. 90 hertz refresh rate and 7 to 9 hours screen on time from serious power users like Dan and I. This thing will get a normal person probably through 2 days.
And it is UFS 2.1, correct. But it's also a hell of a lot faster than on the Pixel 3a. They used a eMMC storage. It's so much, even though it's not a new 3.1 or 3.0, it's still very, very quick. Now, you're saying there, yeah, he was asking about between the 4A 5G and the 5. I said, and I think Adam said it as well, for me, I think the 4A 5G is the sweet spot and the one that most people will go for, because it offers a bit of Pixel 5, a lot of Pixel 4A, and a bigger screen, and it's $100 cheaper. So,
yeah, $499 for what you get is a good deal. You get that second camera. It's still the polycarbonate body, which is perfectly fine. I think it's going to hold up well. You still get the 3 years software security updates. Yeah, 60 hertz refresh rate. Still get the 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM. For me, for most people, and I think that's one of the reasons why T-Mobile has gone with it, they've got the exclusive OnePlus 8T, and then they've got the Pixel. It kind of makes more sense to me now why they didn't pick it up, because then I guarantee you a lot of people would probably pass on the Pixel 5 if they have those 3 options on the table together.
I think the 4A 5G is going to be one of those, like a bit of a unicorn for the first month. I don't think you'll be able to get it. Even now, people are still paying more because you can't get it in every place for the 4A. The regular 4A, people are selling them for $380, $390 because they're supposed. I mean, I can walk into Best Buy and buy one tomorrow here, but some states it seems they don't have them. So,
yeah, and such a good phone. I really love the Pixel 4a.
Yeah,
I love everything the Pixel's done this year. I was really disappointed. Like, I really wanted to love the Pixel 4 series last year, but the battery was such a letdown.
They did fix
the price,
and they did do some. I don't know how they fixed it. That was some serious voodoo they did for that battery to go from being so poor to lasting maybe. I had to put that sucker on charge at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd start work at 7. It'd be dead pretty much by 2 o'clock, and then I'd maybe even have to put it on charge again by 7 o'clock that night.
I had to do the same thing, but that was the same thing I had to do with the iPhone 10s. I remember when I first started working at my job downtown last year, I had got the iPhone 10s Max, and I would have to plug that sucker in at 3:30 in the afternoon to make sure I could get home.
Yeah,
and the battery life on the iPhones was just so atrocious.
Worse and worse, apart from the last one because they put a big battery in it.
God, the battery in the 11 was like game changing for me. That made me so happy when they finally did that, and that's what worries me now.
Don't be upset because they didn't mention every year. They say
more.
Yeah, and that you're going to get an extra hour or 2 hours out of this, even though it's a smaller battery. No, you're not. This is, I think there's somewhere on Apple, and it already states that it's not going to last as long as the 11 Pro. So there's something somewhere. I'll have to dig it up again, but they've already said in small writing, no. So,
well, we'll see what happens. I like the way that it looks. I like some of the stuff that they've done with it. I'm looking forward to testing it out whenever mine gets here. And I got some. I already got my Nomad cases for the 11 Pro Max, but I talked to Chuck, and
he emailed me, and I'm like, I'm not getting one.
He asked me before, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get the 12 Pro Max, but I said that before I found out they were going to have different dates.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I messaged him today, and I was like, so you know how you sent me all those 12 Pro Max cases? That's not going to be here for 3 weeks. I was like, can you send me one for a 12?
Yeah. I tell you, that folio, have you seen the new folio? I made a video on it. The rugged folio. It's like a soft. This thing is nice.
I've got a folio wallet case for this Pro Max, but I'll tell you one thing. I was putting a tweet out earlier, and I ran out of time because the show was starting. One of the most exciting things for me about the iPhones is an opportunity to put another Nomad case on them because I just love them that much.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised really because it's a totally different price point, but the amount of pixels that seem to have been sold this year so far, I'm surprised they've not come out with something for that.
I was hoping they were going to put one out for the 5. I'm hoping maybe they might still. I mean, I have no insight.
You know, it doesn't look cheap, even though it's plastic. The unibody makes it feel a bit more premium than what it is.
Yeah. But, see you later, Ed. Thanks for stopping by.
But I thought that was a good opportunity there to, a $50 case, $40 leather case, Halloween leather case. Slap that on your 4A.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything for the 4A, just because they didn't do anything for the 3A series. I'm still holding out hope they'll do something for the 5. I just love the cases so much. I mean, the Nomad cases, and this is, of course, they don't pay me anything. The product's just that good. I have no problem recommending it, and the people are also amazing. They're great people.
Yeah, they're awesome to work with. Absolutely.
I guess we ought to probably go ahead and wrap it up. We're already 11 after the hour here, but
that was going quick again.
Yeah, well, I mean, both of us in here talking about phones.
I know, right? It was just another Wednesday night tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people in here tonight were talking about phones. So, I mean, when it comes to phones, if you say, hey, what about this, and I'm just like,
I can talk all day about.
Yeah. That's why I do what I do. I love phones. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's it, guys. So thanks a lot for coming and hanging out with us. Of course, we'll have the regular show on Wednesday night, our Unhinged Tech Show, which, of course, we do have the new dedicated channel for. Make sure you go find that and subscribe to the Unhinged Tech channel. And make sure you hit the bell so you get the notifications. We'll be back 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. Y'all have a
wrong time.
I'm sorry, 7:30 Central Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard.
What? Yeah, you me an hour earlier. No, I don't think so.
yeah, the time zone. So 7:30 Central Standard Time. But y'all have a wonderful weekend. Y'all stay safe. And thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, guys.
Later on.